Evolution. Why are so many Christians and Muslims very happy to accept nearly every scientific theory, with one very noticeable exception: evolution? In the case of Christianity, if evolution is true, then it destroys Christianity. Because if evolution is true, then there was no Adam and Eve. Without Adam and Eve, there was no original sin. Without original sin, there is no need for Jesus to sacrifice himself to get forgiveness for humanity. So, evolution kills Christianity. In the case of Islam, if evolution is true, then there was no Adam and Eve. If there was no Adam and Eve, then there is a mistake in the Quran. If the Quran isn't perfect, then it could not have come from Allah. So, evolution kills Islam. There are several ways that these two religions fight against accepting this science. For example, it's just a theory, where they use theory in the sense of guess. But in this case, theory means a coherent and convincing explanation for the facts of evolution. Yes, facts. Because evolution has been observed many times. The whole problem of antibiotics becoming less useful over time is because the bacteria that they don't kill reproduce and flourish, while the bacteria that they do kill are dead. So a population of bacteria gradually becomes more and more resistant to that antibiotic. And that is evolution, and we have seen it happen. The theory of evolution is the details of the explanations for how that happens. The fact of evolution is the fact that it happens. But I've heard people say, those bacteria are still bacteria. Yes, that's true, but it still demonstrates that evolution is a fact. Some people call this microevolution and like to say that that's different from macroevolution, because microevolution is clearly true, it's observable. So what is macroevolution? This is what scientists call speciation. It's when you start off with one species, and after some length of time, from that population, you have two or more species. But first, what is a species? In the case of sexual species, if two of the same species mate, then they can have offspring, which can also have offspring. But if a horse mates with a donkey, you get a mule, which cannot have offspring. That's how we know that a horse and a donkey are two separate species, even though they look fairly similar. So, has speciation been observed? Yes, it has. And if you want to read the research papers documenting this, use Google. And so what anti-evolutionists call macroevolution, which is really called speciation, is also true. So what other objections are raised? Well, there's good old personal incredulity, which goes like this: I just can't believe it. And if you dig into that a bit, you discover a whole array of straw man arguments. My grandpa weren't no monkey. Well, no one said that he was. If men came from monkeys, why are there still monkeys? Yeah, but if Americans came from Europe, why are there still Europeans? No one has ever seen a monkey turn into a human. That's right, evolution doesn't say that would happen, and if you think that's how evolution works, you need to read up on it a bit. Where's the missing link? 100 years ago, that might have been a good question, but it isn't now. We found it. It's just a theory. No, evolution is a fact. The theory is the detail of the explanations as to how it works. And then there is intelligent design. This is the idea that evolution could not have happened. There must have been some guiding intelligence behind it. The word God is carefully not mentioned, like a dog whistle is unheard. But the biggest problem with this is that it doesn't address the question of where this guiding intelligence came from. It means that you're trying to explain complexity, and you're using greater complexity as the explanation. It doesn't work. But you cannot get a Christian or a Muslim to accept evolution, simply because as soon as they accept evolution, they are no longer a Christian or a Muslim. And that is why they fight so hard to prevent evolution from being taught, or understood, or accepted.